We're now past the quarter point of the NBA season. 27% of the season is now in the books if we want to get official. So since we've passed the quarter mark, it's hard to do this before this time. It is time to hand out some quarter seasons awards. Chiney, we sort of put the kibosh right on MVP talk so far this season, but I think we're there. I think it's time. Who has been the best player so far? Don't look so excited to have this conversation, Rich.
So Zach and I were in the green room and we were discussing this, and this is a very, very difficult choice, but I am saying Nikola Jokic.
Okay.
Just because he is so close to averaging a triple-double currently. And for a big man to do that in this state and day and age of the NBA, we have to appreciate every time it gets closer. He is third in the league in assists as a center. He's giving you 28 points per game. And the most important part is that when people were trying to knock his case last year, it was like, well, defensively, Joel Embiid is a better player. This man is averaging 13 rebounds a game and turning those rebounds into offense. He is a maestro for the Denver Nuggets. The reason why it was hard for me is Joel Embiid is leading the league in scoring, having a great start, and having a career-high 6 assists. But right now, what Jokic is doing overall has to be appreciated. So Nikola Jokic, best player, and I'm glad that he won because that helped my case decide a little bit.
What was that, Rich?
Well, overall?
Agree or disagree? Hit the hype button if you agree. It's Nikola Jokic.
Can I get it a little quietly? Like, it's gotten closer in the last 10 days, but I still think it's Jokic.
There's only one volume for the hype button. All right, so if that's, we're going to go from the good to the bad then. Who do you think, Zach, has been the most disappointing team thus far?
I wish this had a sound effect. The Atlanta Hawks.
Oh, you had such high hopes for them.
Why?
Oh, thanks for pointing that out. The Atlanta Hawks are 9-13. They traded a whole bunch of draft picks for DeJounte Murray. They're minus 26 for the season with Trae Young and DeJounte Murray on the floor. They've won 0 playoff series and 3 playoff games since their run to the conference finals in 2021, which is starting to get a little bit long ago. I have no idea what this team is. Every time I watch them, I'm like, ugh, again, I got to watch the Hawks. They just are kind of there. Kind of unserious. 5th on offense, 27th on defense. Like, what are we even doing?
Like
and look, if they get to the trade deadline, and they're just they're under 500, they're like struggling to get in the play-in, I think they're going to have some interesting conversations at the trade deadline because this has hit a wall for 2.5 years now, and it's going nowhere. And it's just, I know Jalen Johnson's hurt. He may have been their second best player this year when he was healthy. You just got to be better than this.
Any other disappointing teams you want to throw out, or are we riding with Zach's Hawks?
I'm riding with it just because there are expectations there. I mean,
and there's a void, right? At the sort of middle of the.
Can I say a sleeper one?
A sleeper disappointing team?
Yeah, the Spurs have been a disappointing team.
Okay, we're going to get to the Spurs. We're going to get to the Spurs a little bit later in the show. Let's go from the director of grumpiness today. Actually, you have brought the spirit, so I'm not even going to give you that title today. But the director of ambiance.
I lost my title. He gets to keep his title forever. I just lost mine unilaterally.
The most surprising team, Richard, to you thus far has been whom?
The most surprising team have been the Orlando Magic. They have been so impressive all season long. They were this far away from getting into the in-season tournament final for Elite Eight, They were so close. They've been playing outstanding. They are one of the 5 youngest teams in the NBA. You could say the same thing about the Oklahoma City Thunder, but they don't have a first-team All-NBA guy closing them out. They don't have the number 2 pick. Yes, they have the Rookie of the Year, but they didn't get added a guy like Chet Holmgren. So to me, Orlando is more surprising from the standpoint of they don't have a first-team All-NBA closer. They're still one of the younger teams. So this has been done by a collective effort. Whenever you have a collective effort like that, you have to point to coaching. So shout out Jamal Mosley. He has done an outstanding job. I don't know if he's been extended, but you'd extend him again because he's building this group and he has all of these young guys bought in. So they have been my most surprising team. And look, like I said, OKC, you were very close, but there were expectations on Oklahoma City. Adding Chet, having the first team All-NBA.
They're second in the East right now.
Yeah, they're second in the East.
Thank you, Richard, for bringing them on the show.
Yes. Zach Lowe, the best team in the NBA is the Orlando Magic. Are they the most surprising team? Is it somebody else? The best team in the league?
Well, first of all, since Chiney's with Chiney today, I want to shout out the Houston Rockets, my other choice.
There we go.
Number 2 in defense, Ime Udoka might need an extension in a second. The best team in the NBA is still the Boston Celtics, top to bottom, particularly when they have Porzingis healthy. They're my choice now.
Oh, shout out the Rockets. We know.
Yes. Turn this into a Rockets segment.
The team that drafted me and then made an epic mistake, 15 minutes later. I still got love for the Houston Rockets. I said the minute they got Ime, it was 100% a mistake. The minute I got Ime, the minute they got Dylan Brooks, the minute they got
No,
I'm not talking about. We're talking about the Houston
rising team.
Who's the best team?
Who's the best team?
Oh, it's the Denver Nuggets. I won't disrespect the Denver Nuggets. Like, yes, they had some injuries right now. He's talking about the Boston Celtics.
All right.
They are healthy. They are great. It's the same with the Denver Nuggets.
Those are the two best teams.
Exactly.
I go with the Denver Nuggets as well.
Respect to the champion.
And the Houston Rockets.
I mean, this.
And the Houston Rockets.
All right. Remember, the Bucks, they're looking to avenge that overtime loss. Remember from their last matchup, we're going to pick this one up when things got good here in the fourth quarter. I love when Giannis does a little stare down at the end or something nasty like that.
Oh, 100%. He is a dominant guy. If we want to talk about physicality and how he's changed his body to become dominant, see the big shot there by White.
Kobe White lets a triple fly. He had 33 points, 6 of 10 from 3 in this one, but then Giannis, slams it down. Bucks take a 4-point lead, and then DeRozan spins up, gets. Ooh.
That's just getting that attention on the defensive end, and that opens up offensive rebounding opportunities.
Yeah, Patrick Williams able to get it done there. DeMar DeRozan, that little floater is good. DeRozan had 41 points, 11 assists, and had the game-tying bucket.
I thought that was going in, by the way.
So did the broadcast team in Milwaukee. They thought that was good.
He was practicing him in All-Star game last year, so, you got reps.
Well, to overtime we go. The Bucks, they took over in overtime. Giannis Antetokounmpo. There's just nothing you can do for that, Rich.
No. Look, in December, you take what you can get. You get the wins where you can, and then Dame with a little bounce. Okay.
Giannis had 32 points, 12 rebounds, 6 assists. The Bucks, they get the win in this one. Giannis, though, he turned it on in the fourth quarter in overtime, going from taking only 5 shots through the first 3 quarters to scoring 20 points over the final 17 minutes. And Giannis, he spoke about his mindset after the game.
Throughout the whole game, we were leading, we were up 10, up 15, up 14 at one point. So the way I was approaching the game and me moving the ball and just making the right play was working. Sometimes it's not about you, it's about the team getting a good shot, and I'm okay with that.
So it looks like Giannis is making a conscious effort to get Dame going, right? Dame's struggling to shoot a little bit, at least by his standards. He's shooting 42% from the floor, 35% on threes. That would be among the worst shooting percentages for a season in his career if these numbers were to continue. But Zach, I think when we talk about the Bucks, we talk about them going all in on Dame, and we had these visions of them having sort of the best two-man game in the NBA. Nearly 2 months into the season now, that hasn't exactly come to fruition yet. Why is that?
I don't know why. You got to ask Adrian Griffin and Damian Lillard and Giannis about that. But I will say, though, look, the Bucks are 3rd in offense and 23rd in defense. Offense is not the big picture zoom-out problem. But, look, they ran in an overtime game 5 Dame Giannis pick and rolls last night. That's just not enough. They're regularly around 8, 9, 10, 11 a game. And at some point, even if they're 3rd in offense, they're going to have to lean a little bit more into that against the best teams. But for now, I want to give a little love to Giannis, not as the screener, but as the pick-and-roll ball handler, because the Dame Giannis thing may not have a rhythm, but this might be the best pick-and-roll season of Giannis' career. And the Giannis-Brook Lopez two-man game has become unstoppable. If you switch, there's just no center in the league who can stick with him anymore. Now, this one stuck with me. Here's a Giannis-Dame pick-and-roll. That's good. You got Kobe White over there on Giannis, and he just jogs over there like an afterthought. Post him, give him the ball. Now, they end up getting a good shot on a Dame Brook Lopez thing, so I can't argue with it.
That's not a good shot. That's not a good shot.
That's Damian Lillard.
And
that's
not with Giannis and Kobe White, Zach.
It can be both, RJ. Stop yelling. It was a fine shot, but that's just an example of, you did run the pick and roll that everyone wants to see. And by the way, the 5 that I mentioned, it doesn't count when Dame comes around that pin down and gets a dunk. That's kind of a variation of the same thing. It's still not enough, but you did run it, and you get a good matchup. And Giannis said, yeah, I'm cool. Maybe he's trying to get Dame a rhythm, but you're Giannis, and you got a guard on you.
I don't think he's cool.
You're a post player.
Yeah.
I don't think he's cool.
He's not cool for the last thing I'll say. He's not cool from the standpoint he's trying to help Dame. But that doesn't mean that when you're playing against the Phillies, the Bostons, that possession right there, when you got Giannis, you got to maximize every matchup.